Oh, hello, colleagues. It's Don Lubach with the Ombuds office. I'm talking to you from our offices at 1205 K Gravetz Hall, coming from a nearly empty campus at a very exciting and unusual and slightly scary time. The topic is virtual meetings, and many of us will soon be attending and leading a number of meetings using technology like Zoom and Google Hangouts and maybe some technologies I'm not yet aware of. But let's talk in general about what we're about to experience for maybe the next several months. I'd like to start with the upside. When things are different, it causes us to reflect on our campus culture, our traditions, our work practices. And this, what better than a point like this to reflect on those? And maybe this is an opportunity to disrupt some of our practices that might be obsolete. I really encourage you to be kind to yourself and also to have beginner's mind in that jump into new technologies that we'll be using now. They might be new to you and fail and laugh and dust yourself off and jump back in. This is how I certainly learn the most. And it's important. Communication is so important to we in the Ombuds office. And I think it's a really good time to, if anything, increase the communication you have across the office by using tools like Zoom to check in with a lot of people and use a technology like this where you can look into their eyes and find out what's happening. Boy, am I a fan of LinkedIn Learning, formerly lynda.com, founded in Carpinteria, California. Thanks, Linda Weinman. I took this little 32-minute course about virtual meetings. Kevin Eikenberry is the author, and I learned quite a few things about virtual meetings that seemed very straightforward, and I want to share some of the takeaways I have from Eikenberry's free course on lynda.com. Just a reminder, you have access to an all-you-can-eat Lynda subscription because you are a university employee. Thank you, HR, and whomever worked that out. It is remarkable. So if you are going to virtual meetings, set the expectations for the group, and anyone who knows me from my meetings past knows that I didn't follow a lot of these rules, and now that I'm really becoming more of an expert on meetings, I'm realizing how important it is to hold excellent meetings. Setting expectations for a virtual meeting on Zoom is important and recommended by Eikenberry, and I recommend this, that ask people to not be on mute unless they have barking dogs at home. Or they're doing the dishes. Urge people to keep their cameras on and make it explicit that multitasking is not okay. Perhaps you can drastically reduce the length of your meeting to say, we'll keep this to 20 minutes, so we need you to be looking at our eyes for the next 20 minutes, and then you can go back to your regular channels. Think about opening the meetings early, and I didn't finish this sentence. Open the meetings early so that people can chitter-chatter before you actually start. So think about 10, 15 minutes, just turn on the meeting, and people can arrive and greet each other and do what we do around the office. We're going to be missing that. Always have an outcome, a desired outcome of the meeting. It will keep people focused and share this outcome, this desired outcome, with everyone who is attending. Having a blended meeting is actually quite a challenge. I've seen my colleagues in SIS&T do this really well, my former colleagues. It's probably better, and Eikenberry recommends that we just put everybody virtual, even if they're in the office next door to the meeting room where the meeting leader is. It's just keeping one type in the meeting might be excellent. So you'll have some planned meetings where you'll send out a prepared agenda, maybe one that's crowdsourced using Google Docs or a related technology. But if you have an impromptu meeting, like something comes up, like a server's misbehaving or something, then when you start that impromptu meeting, set your desired outcome and then keep people on track. Boy, I have 30 seconds left in my self-imposed 5 minutes. Have a parking lot so people can't drift from the meeting topics. I mentioned already about having an agenda. And turn on the chat feature. You might have some participants who normally don't chime in meetings, but they might find the text function to be excellent. And don't wrap up any meeting without having an action plan. Who's going to do what? When is it going to be done by? That's super important for all meetings. Have you looked at this in a while, our diversity statement for UCSB? Do you subscribe to the diversity statement for UCSB? I sure hope you do. And I'm thinking with this change that we have here, I'd love everybody to look at this statement and think about how we can run our virtual meetings to meet the diversity mission of UCSB. How do we include everyone in the meetings? How do we make sure that we're being fair and equitable in our dealings as university employees? This is a great time for us to be thinking about that. And there's some really nice content actually on Lynda about DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And if you haven't been looking at some of the campus content on that, this is a good time to do that as well. So I wish you good meetings. I'll miss you all as we're all distributed employees for this awkward time. But we're open at the Ombuds for taking Zoom appointments. So give us a ring at our number. I'll look at it here. It's 3285, 805-893-3285. I'd love to consult with you about anything that's happening with your work life and your relationships. This is the office of listening. So if you want to be listened to, give us a ring. We're happy to talk with you about your strategies and even some of your own career interests. It's all confidential. Check out our website at ombuds.ucsb.edu to find out about our principles and practices. Happy meetings to you. Take care.